Okay, my brain suddenly went on overload, and I was like, okay, I got to start right now. I was like, everybody, it's one of those days where everybody's up. Like, so, chaos, like everything is becoming so chaotic. It's crazy. But it's like 20 to 5. But I was in there, I was getting her treats, and so Stella's stomach is growling and growling. Yesterday was the hugest thing of puke everywhere. And there was puke inside his bin, or his crate in the morning. So both of them have an upset stomach. But there's something that is, I think, fascinating, because I'm putting a bunch of pieces together. This is what all of a sudden hit me. But I had a whole bunch of other things I was going to talk about. I was just like, well, you know, I'm getting their stuff. I'll make another cup of tea, you know. And then all of a sudden, Jack has this thing where everything Stella has that he thinks he needs it. Like anywhere, if you're going to sit down, he's got to beat you in the spot. If you're trying to walk, he's got to take your step first. I don't know what it is with this guy. I think it's a certain energy that is, because I'm seeing a lot of weird stuff that people are saying about having puppies and stuff right now. So I think it's something about that. And, you know, and who knows if it's like the dark energy, impulsiveness that is just push, 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 push. And so they're just like, you know, but I just know it's temporary. You know, it's just challenging. It's hard. This pushes me to my ends of my rope a lot of days. Like yesterday was a really good thing, and I've just seen so much how Stella, he was trying to dig out, and Stella was out there barking and barking. I was getting so aggravated, and every time I go out and she's just sitting there mindlessly barking in this one place, it is to alert me to his misbehavior. So she's so freaking smart, this chick, man. God, I feel so, is one of the best relationships in my entire life has been with this girl. So hey, I hope it lasts a lot longer. It's hard to go through all this sickness and bullshit. So, you know, Jack wanted her treat because she finishes hers way faster. His mouth is way smaller, but he's so heavy now. He's so hard to pick. This guy's gonna be 80 pounds. Like, he's growing so fast. It's crazy. And, but still, you know, she needs someone bigger a little. And I mean, even though she'd be gentle, because I was thinking a really small dog, but anyways, I don't have to go through all that because I got too much stuff. So Jack was, wanted her treat, and I had gotten her a different one because there was one left of these. I don't know, when you start getting natural treats, it's like, oh, some of the shit, you don't even want to know what it is. It's disgusting. And you're always supposed to wash your hands after you do it, because it's like stuff right out of the animal. And so it can be like the inside lining of their penis and stuff. Like, it's weird shit. You have to look up the words and what the words are, because I did it before. Because I was really onto this. Okay, I've got to get natural the treats. They're fucking killing them in the treats. And so I went through looking into all that when Stella was having so many problems with her hips, because she loves treats. Right now I made her some really good ice creams, and you make it with pumpkin, banana, pumpkin puree, banana, honey, and there's another, yogurt. And so it's yogurt, pumpkin puree, banana, and honey. You just mix it up, and then you put it in like ice trays and freeze it, and it's like ice cream. And so it's like a treat. It's, you know, I mean, it's the same kind of stuff we eat. Just like on their kibble, they don't get very much kibble. The only reason I even give kibble is because before, when I used to make their food, it was rice. I would use and then I put all vegetables and meat. It was like a big stew. But they would be hungry, and then I started thinking, well, maybe rice is too much of a filler. And then I started seeing all this information. This is always how my guides work. You ask a question. That's what I'm always telling people, ask things. And then you ask and you shall receive. That's for real. And so okay, because I really want to get on this one thing. So I'm going to be bouncing around because I had a whole bunch of stuff I'm telling you until this. So there's a bunch of things that I have seen recently where I put all of this, this thing. Like a lot of times when this happens, it's like, see, you're onto something. You got it, girl. And so, you know, there's been a lot of things throughout the years that we've been talking here. There's been a lot of profound things that I've come across. So anyways, this is one of those. And this one treat, there was one in Stella loved the one. She loves these little sticks, and it's hard to get these natural, I'm telling you. And then they have duck, chicken, and liver or something wrapped on these little shish kebab treats. It's her favorite fucking thing. For a while, I was getting them to her, and I was getting like I would get myself through Chewy, and it was a huge bag, and but it was like Good and Plenty or something. Some brand was very, very corporate owned. And then when I started looking, it was like, oh, these have rawhide, man. And so I had to find a more healthier one. So I found these ones, and they use something different, but you don't get near as many. And they're, of course, more expensive. But like I said, I'd rather pay for healthier stuff. Keep our health up here rather than just let it deteriorate and then catch up in the end. It's like waiting for your car to break down. So anyways, so I'll tell the interaction. Okay, I'm just gonna go through this thing in a weird way. So she wanted that treat, but he was already chewing on it. And yesterday, just the past couple of days when we've been out playing and stuff, I've just been noticing Stella getting a lot more like less stiff, more moving, and more like playful. You know, she's getting back in that younger spirit or something. Not so like, I've been sitting here for a couple of years with mom and we haven't done a lot. I've been real stiff. She sits over there on the phone all the time because, you know, doing this, it isn't just like you record and you upload, because then you like look for interactions and stuff. You look for, you know, to talk to people. So, anyways, so, you know, I'm on my phone way more than I think I've ever been before. I don't think I was ever on it very much before until, you know, but I grew up without all this technology. I never was into it like other people. So anyways, but now I'm on it all the time, but it's like, I don't know. It's like, man, some of my visuals are so, it's becoming more too, like the other worlds in my head are out. They're out. Like there's this intense and real. So it's trippy. I don't know. It's trippy. There's definitely things happening that I don't know how to explain. So, it's weird shit happening to me. So, anyways, so I was thinking yesterday, oh, so having a puppy, like doing this circulation, you know, like, you know, how a grandparent can get around a baby and it just brings out the youth in them. And, even having dogs around, come here, honey. Even having dogs around in a nursing home and stuff, it gets the people to act younger again. And another way to get people to act younger again is put on their era of music and stuff back to when they were young. Bring them back to when they were young, and it triggers memories, and those memories start the age regression. So, which I was noticing was happening with her. And so I'd already noticed that outside and stuff. And then I had seen, so there's this one guy, his name is Conscious Juice, Joose, I think. I really like him. He's always sharing really cool stuff on TikTok. And he, I didn't watch the one on the urine because I already knew about a bunch of the studies on urine and because I've talked about them before, because I had seen them, run across them when I was looking up stuff about my eyes and trying to save my vision naturally. And there's people who have done it by drinking their own urine. And so, and that's why I've said, you know, I'm not there yet, but I drink a lot of roots. So, I had something pop in my head about that, but I can't go off on that right now. So I got to finish this. So anyways, so he was showing the studies about urine, and I'm not sure what all his studies were, but I had seen enough of the stuff, so I didn't watch it. But I knew it would be showing, there was an infiltration that occurs in our body, that when it goes through our body, it knows what to heal. And so when we recirculate it, it heals us. And so that's why I got a whole thing about it. And there's studies and stuff. It's interesting, but you have to get over the the things that bind us, these thoughts that they've put into our head, and these are hard ones to get over. And so then yesterday he did one, and it was about poop. And there's a poop bank, and you can make up to $90,000 a year if you have to poop like 3 times a day and make 4 donations a week. I don't know. There's all those numbers. So you get paid and you get bonuses if you do them like close together. I know she's not feeling good. If you do them like close together, your poops, and so you get bonuses on that and stuff. There's all these ways to make money on your poop. And so his was talking about that kind of, but I had seen more about the poop thing when I was looking up stuff about gut health, and I was reading Dr. Gundry's stuff. And Dr. Gundry was talking about how, and I was in the hospital. I mean, I was a nurse at the hospital, and I know how serious, like, C. diff and stuff is. Like, you get these old people, and then it's like they get overrun by the bacteria in their intestine, and they die. And so I knew, like, all that stuff. So there's a lot of stuff, like, he can be talking and I have reference. That's why I'm always saying you've got to build your reference. You have way more understanding of people and what people say when you have reference. You can't go through the world without building your reference. Like, work on that library. So, anyways, he was saying that there's a whole thing that there has been some people who have been really, really, really sick with all sorts of different diseases, and that they found by taking a healthy person's stool and putting it inside the sick person's intestine, like, that you don't have to eat it. They go up the other direction. They put it in. You can look up about it. That's what I did. And I mean, there may be some studies or something where you'd find like, oh no, you have to eat it. It goes in capsule. And they would be trying to do something that would be more upper. Like, I'm sure there's a certain reach. So I don't know, because, I don't know. But I'm just saying, if you find that, I would say it would be because it was reaching a different area. And so, but they take a healthy person's poop and they put it in, up inside the other person's intestine, and then that intestine, or that like their soldier bacteria, comes in and cleans up the mess and gets this person's intestines to be functioning again. And so so when he was doing that thing about the poop bank and stuff, I was like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. But they're using it way more. Like, they really understand this infiltration system. And he had some more things on his about some stuff that poop helps with, and how, I don't remember his whole thing, but I'm coming out of it with this infiltration system that us as the human being is capable of, because remember, we're really more of a computer system. We're a hologram. We're an energy. We're a motherboard. Our energy, if you saw us, those are your patterns and stuff. The sacred geometry and stuff, because we're a motherboard. That's what's really there, but we project out an image. And when we project out an image, the image is to reflect back to us what to fix inside of us, just like this infiltration system, what he was explaining about with the urine and the poop. So our stuff goes through us, and then if we took it back into us, and recirculate it and make us better and stronger and better and stronger. And, oh my gosh. And so I don't know. Oh, maybe I'll give her some medicine. Hold on. That's probably, hold on just a second. Here. I forgot I didn't give you any medicine. You weren't? Here, maybe that's what you need. So my arm is killing you. Your joints probably hurt too. I don't know what is wrong with my arm. It has been killing me for days. It's going all the way from my shoulder down into my elbow. Oh, it's horrible. Just aches and aches and aches. But whenever I have these aches like that, it always makes me, you know, when she'll start whining and stuff, I'll think, oh, she's having those aches. And then the weather here, when it's super, super moist like this, like even in my wood shed thing, my wood is just getting wet. Everything is so moist. And, okay, so I'm ready to spin off of that because I want to go on to this too. This other science thing. So, because I've been talking about this for a while too. And so, you know, I had already said that slow down now. So well, it's the Ring of Fire, I guess, apparently. And if, there's a reverberation. So when something happens, like an earthquake, especially over in one area, it reverberates over here, and like there's a ping pong that goes on under the ground that is happening underneath us. And I'll tell you something really trippy. Is I don't think it was yesterday. I think it was the day before, and it was towards the evening. And I felt like the whole ground was rumbling. I could feel it through my whole body, that everything was like vibrating really hard and really fast. And I was like, fuck, man, this must be it or something. Maybe we're about to have a big earthquake or something. And then I was like, you know, and it's because I see this place is very different. I started thinking, okay, maybe the movie's about to go off. Like, it's about to glitch out. Like this is weird. So I'll think of this stuff on a bunch of different levels, which, you know, I have really come to the realization of, you know, I'm very odd man out in this world. It's, you know, it's just something I have to face, you know, it's crazy. But I'll talk more about that too, just a sec. Because, okay, so the Philippines, I'm pretty sure I'm saying the right place, had a 7.5, you know, God, like Indonesia, like there's a bunch of shit going on all over the place. There's volcanoes, earthquakes, and all this stuff. So it can be, if I'm saying the wrong place, but there's a 7.5 earthquake, and it was across from us. And so it reverberates back over here. And then there's a whole thing too where it creates a tsunami. And so there was a tsunami watch because it was so bad. But 7.5 could still be just the lead in, you know, because usually there's smaller ones to start before you get a bigger one. Like, you know, maybe they were having some really small ones. But everything is also changing. Maybe, you know, maybe that is some Mandela effect that I think or something. I don't know. I'm no earthquake expert. So, you know, maybe that, you know, settled their gods down or whatever. And so, but over here, they were saying that it was making a tsunami watch. And so then they were talking about where it was going to be affected, and that the scientists are watching it really strong because they're expecting a 9.5 on this Cascadian fault line or something that is a part of like where I'm at. And they said that this tsunami could be 3 miles high. So in my mind, you know, I'm calculating, okay, 3 miles high, how far will it go back in? I was like, I mean, it could come in and like, what? But like it would take me to drive to the beach, and it's also a peninsula. So that is even more that it has to cross. I think it's going to wipe out a lot of coastal. I think a lot of people who are right, you know, the people who have the most money basically. All of that, you know, it's like it's like nature showing. You're thinking about the wrong thing, people. Like, we can wipe that out in an instant. It's gone. And that's what will happen, because this is nature. You know, it's like the real and the artificial are like the titans. It's like the gods have spoken. And so it just depends on what level you look at stuff. So it's all perspective. It's all how you perceive. And anyways, so the shift, and they were saying that this tectonic plate that they're watching, it's already kind of looks like little volcanoes. There's a big one. There's a whole bunch of activity from what I heard outside of Newport, Oregon. And see, and then I don't even know if the dogs are acting weird just because of... Do you want your bed? Is that the problem? Is he in your bed and that's what you're mad about? Do you want me to move him so I can finish doing my work? It's like, oh my God. Jack, go on the couch. You don't need to take your bed. Go on the couch. You do that on purpose. You don't even need this much space. There, Stella, get on your bed. There, lay down there. You know that is her bed. She gets it first. He'll still, and once she gets settled, then he'll go and find some spot and curl up with her. But anyways, she can't move around good. So when he gets in it, it's just like an obstacle. Even when he's got his toys in it and stuff. Now she's licking her wounds. She's letting me know, like, yes, I'm very sore. I'm uncomfortable. He's taking on my bed. And he can be so annoying too. Just like, you know, having a baby around. But, oh, because I hadn't finished that part too. Because when she had gotten the saliva of his on the treat, when I switched the treats out, because she really wanted the one, I don't even think he was eating it. He was just like licking it or something. So, and he really wanted the one she had then, because there was one left of these. So I switched them and gave the ones that she loved so much and gave him the other one. And it had his saliva, and she kept sitting there sniffing it for a minute. And so it was drawing my attention. And then I put together all this other reference. And I was like, oh, that saliva, the young saliva is going inside of her. And then it is helping her DNA, helping her cells regenerate. And then I was like, oh, even with dogs with water, when they share water, it's always good to have a young dog with the older dogs, because then it revitalizes the water through their saliva, and how to keep a pack going. And then after I saw a TikTok this morning, this was disturbing, man. I swear to God, they just do this of like trying to make it mainstream or something. So there's something called NAD, and all the stars are using it. That's how they stay young, is, you know, you take this stuff and then it revitalizes your cells and stuff. There's even a rich guy out marketing that how young he's getting by getting his son's blood put into him. So it's like using these other infiltration systems, you know. And there's a natural one, like maybe we should all be slurping water out of the same bowl or something with some young people. Maybe, you know, I need to start letting my grandkids with all their backwash here. Yeah, go ahead, have a drink. You know, maybe that keeps us young. I don't know. I think it is a lot about attitude and not getting caught up in the bullshit and taking care of yourself. So I think that's a lot about keeping yourself young and then just going with the flow, because you're here for a window of time. You know, it's making the best of your time, living your best life while you have your time. So anyways, I just had put all those different pieces together. So I hadn't finished talking about that. Yeah, because I just had put all those pieces together. And then that's when I was like, oh my God. It's like overload. I gotta go talk. And so, yeah, I thought that's really interesting, because with all that how this a regeneration, and there's something about old people, and part of the thing is losing stem cells and stuff, but these other more natural ways, see, they just want to keep us in limitation. I saw people talking about our date and stuff. It's like, how in the world can we say we're in 2023 when they stopped counting the months the way they're supposed to? There's 13 months. So you got to go all the way back to when they stopped counting it and turned it to 12 months. And they got off of the natural moon cycles, which the moon, all this stuff has all been, you got to think of it as like a stage. It's like a set. It's like we have been a part of experiment. We come in and we play these games, but the games have purpose. It is the expansion of the universe. It's like the same thing as going to grad school. You know, it's for learning and growing and stuff. So, you know, us as the souls, the cells, the expansion, the creators, we're the movement. We're the power behind the movement. So it's us. And so, and this is something that I just have such a hard time. It just has hit me so much all the time, is because I have such a different perspective on things, and I am so much more of it's an obstacle you overcome. You don't get stuck. You don't get stuck because I had to in order to survive my life, I think, but it's obviously a natural thing that was inside of me, but I used it to get through life. You can't go up to an obstacle and think you can't get over. You can't look for other reasons to hold you back. That's what they've gotten with diagnoses and all this bullshit. You have to, everything you come up to, you have to overcome. And I was thinking, this is why my kids would say, you know, that I was so, anybody who was with me, you know, it's like, I don't have mercy on, you know, oh, I'm defeated, I can't do it, no, there's no hope. Yeah, I'm not about that. That is, like, I'm the repulsion from that. I am the opposite. It's like, and so it was like, oh, I could see, you know, how my kids could think like, oh my God, she's so hard on it. Oh my God, you know, and I would always look at things different. I would always say things, and it's like, so anyways, I decided to keep wearing my Buddha, but I changed it to this bead thing. The other thing was like choking right on this one spot right here where I have been strangled in this life, but I don't know. I don't even like to wear turtlenecks sometimes when it pushes on there. In the same way as like I have this injury in the back of my head where my brain tried to escape. So I don't know. They feel super sensitive sometimes to my braid, when I braid my hair at night to sleep, it will push up against that spot. Oh my God, I'll have the worst headache for days. And I keep, like, even with my shoulder is, I have no idea what the fuck, and I keep asking him to show me I need to release this pain. But okay, I've got a bunch of things going because this keeps pulling me to other things too. Oh yeah, because I'm gonna talk about that too with the Man in Black story, because this is a good story too. But okay, so this, so the scientists are saying, is there's all this activity, there's all this new activity, and they're watching, you know, why aren't they, you know, starting to tell people that you should move off the coast? It's like, this is insane. Especially because they're watching it and what they're expecting and what they're saying is going to happen. So they're saying what's going to happen is like, when I had said I had seen that one movie, I don't know, it's one of these end of the world movies. I saw, I don't know, last year or something. I don't know. It's like one pops up and then you see a couple more. I can't even remember which one it was, but it was very dramatic because there was the earthquake in LA, and it went in the visual it shows you is this whole section just pops up. Like it just pops up and so it's like straight up and down. Like if your streets were sitting like this, and then all of a sudden they just went up like this. So the street, the whole city tips up like that, and then it crashes down in the water. And I don't think it tipped over to crash down. I think it went down like that. And that's what they're expecting. And they said it's something like it's going to crash up. They give what they're expecting the measurements to be. It's going to crash up, and then it's going to slam down and go under the water a certain amount. This is what they're expecting. Any minute, any day, with this whole tectonic plate over here. And so that's going to be where the West Coast is going to start with the wipeout. It's going to... And so I don't know if that's going to be the big push, you know, where something's going to happen. And so then I'm just going to be pushed to wagon train with the people across the mountains in the snow. Like, I have no idea what the universe has planned for me. I know whatever it is, I can get through it, because I know I do get through it, because I know where I end up, because I know where, you know. So all of these different things, it's always like I go into them knowing, well, I know I'm going to get through this because I can see all that up ahead. So whatever I got to get through this part, you know, I know that I can, because I know where I end up. So that's why I'm always saying to people, like, go into your soul. Your soul will tell you. You will know stuff. Like, I don't get. It's so strange. This is just gets so strange, man. Especially when you have these fucking people saying they're spiritual, and it's like, but what spirit are you talking to then? Are you talking to your own? Okay, God, there's a bunch of stuff. That one where before the King James Bible, it was the Geneva Bible, I think it was called. And there was a bunch of stuff that King James was like, well, like, you don't know, I don't want him to know that. But that, you know, watch The Name of the Rose, that movie. I thought that explained it really well. I could see it was a manipulated book. They show these fucking popes or whatever down there deciding what was going to be used. And it was all about controlling the people. And so, yeah, it's edited by control and greed and manipulation. So whatever the stories were on the scrolls, you know, it doesn't match. And these people, they don't even go deeper and think about all the different scrolls. What about those scrolls? What about their scrolls? What do all the scrolls say? And there's so much crossover on all these scrolls. So it's just as, you know, I don't know. These people are trained to divide, and that's what they do. They enjoy being divided. And so it's like, I don't know, it's like the games or something that are played out here. I don't know. There's so much stuff here. It's just like, I just don't get it. Like, what? You don't to do that. You do that. Like, what? But, you know, I mean, just the fact that I knew we were in a completely different world than what everybody else thought. And every time I try and point it out and say stuff, that people would think I was the one who was crazy. It's like, oh my God, it's like you're running around in a game telling everybody they're in a game. You're in a dream, you're in a dream, you're the only one who knows, and everybody else is like, shut up, weirdo. It's like, it's so annoying. So anyways, the one of the stories that okay, so California jolting up, and then it's going to start the whole thing, and I don't know what it's going to be over here, but they're expecting that we were on a tsunami watch. Apparently, I mean, I'm sure it wasn't getting any sirens back here, so I don't know how much of a watch. Do they just watch from airplanes and stuff, and then once they see like one happening, then they sound alarms or something? Or on the news, because I saw a news clip of it. So on the news, they were saying, and maybe on the news, because I don't watch the local news, maybe they even said about Whatcom Water. Like, I don't know. You know, it's like, I don't know. It's like being a part of their system, hanging on their every word, you know. It's like, I don't, but man, anything that you are involved in their system, you know, still being anywhere near them. And, you know, there's these serial killers who are working the homeless communities as well, besides the nabbers. And they just got one yesterday. It's exactly what I've been saying. There's instigators out there. There's people that came across that are soldiers here. They're here for, instigating and, you know, fear and danger and all sorts of stuff. Get other people to get going and stuff. It's like a whole thing. People don't, it's like they don't have an awareness of it or something. And I think there's a whole group of people who get caught up in the gang mentality. And, you know, it's going to get more and more violent because they are caught up in an energy. And, you know, this stuff apparently has to keep playing out. So, but there's going to be a lot of people who are like, I mean, the footage in the movie where it shows they'll like tip up like that and then slam down, it's terrifying. And then the scientists to be saying that that's what they're expecting. And all this stuff is going on right now, and they're not doing evacuations and moving people from the coast and stuff. Even if, I mean, it's like the same group of people who are trust the science aren't paying any attention. It's like, well, the science is telling you that this whole, I mean, even Forbes magazine is telling you, and this is happening everywhere. And, you know, this is going to be a big old fucking bite out of the United States over here on the West Coast. And, you know, that's why one of the things, too, is like, you know, why keep paying for your house when this whole thing's about to blow up? It's like, whatever, you know, to me, it was like, do the things that feel right, take care of myself, get healthy food, and, you know, other people who are struggling, give them money and stuff. So to me, it was more of being more productive with whatever money I came into contact with than paying for a house that's going to be possibly wiped out here, like, in no time. And so, you know, it's like, enjoy it while you have it. Because, I mean, this area is not existent on the new map. So, anyways, and these storms are happening right now. And they ping-pong this stuff back. And I didn't realize this is, like, the Ring of Fire is this ping-pong match. And it's very active. It's activated. And there's movement over here in these plates. And it's way past when it has cycles or whatever, and they're saying it's way past the time. It's time for this to all happen. But then they've got all these people, the majority of Californians all live over there. Well, I don't know what would wipe the whole place out. It might be like a slow kind of leaking until another thing happens. Like, I think there's going to be a lot of stuff that are happening. But there's definitely going to be this big disaster that's going to happen on the West Coast, however significant it ends up being. And it's, I don't know. I mean, I guess these people just keep going and just living their lives. It's just weird when you see these people live in, like, LA and New York, and it just seems like people are just going around like life's normal. And it's just like, this whole world is blowing up around you. How disconnected are you from the world? Are you just, I don't know. There's just something weird. There's such a weird energy. There's such a disconnect or something. It just weirds me out. And so, you know, I don't know. With, to me, I wish I had gotten a boat. Like, that would be... But I really feel like that the water wouldn't come in on the first disaster, but it will cause so much chaos because it will close off like that one road that we would have to use for evacuation. Like, there would be roads closed off, and then the only way out of here is up and over the mountain, and you can't go in the winter, and they've already got all these storms going. And so it's like I have said the whole time, it's like I'm in a place that would end up being isolated. Like, we will be kind of isolated if it all depends on how the stuff goes down, you know. It's hard to say. I mean, we're right on the edge of something going down, though. I mean, like, it's crazy. Let me think what else I was going to say about that. But, you know, it really is like, you just got to take it as it comes, you know, and just, it's kind of like dancing through life, and it's like, it's really picked up the tempo. And so it's like this, you know, and you just can't get worn out. You just got to keep going and keep going. And it's like you can't stop now. You got to just go. It's like as soon as you stop, it's like it stops or something. Like it's the end. And so it's like you gotta just, I don't know, you just can't give up right now. And I think there's a lot of people who will, but that's what they're there for. I mean, I know things are destined. It's not like I can change somebody's destiny, but still I have to share my attitude about it. And you know, just like what I've been saying. So you got to be your own savior. You're the one who has to, you know, keep going, even when things are horrible and hard. And so, and who knows? I mean, like Ohio's totally going through it right now, like giving them all of this sickness, but they were all like it was just a few months back. How are you trying to pull the wool over these eyes by now saying that they've got this sickness? Like it's absurd. And I can't even believe that there will be people who fall for this absurdity. It's just weird. I don't know, when you hear the people talking and stuff, it's just like, oh my God, people, when are you going to put it together? It's the environment that's killing you. It's the motherfucking environment. It's like, come on. So the, because this one story that I wanted to, because I saw this girl, I think yesterday or something, and I was drawn to listen to her, even though I pushed past and I kept listening. And because there's some of the, you know, like if I go across a video, it's Grand Rising, I go right past it. I don't like the trendy kind of, it's just, I don't know. There's too much trend around all this stuff. And they get caught up in the trend instead of going out and doing the work and looking stuff up, trying to understand what this place is, trying to understand about spirituality, trying to understand about control, trying to understand a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff I'm trying to understand. And I just get caught up in, you know, well, I bought a bunch of crystals, I got my tarot cards and Grand Rising, and today I'm ignoring everything in the world and raising my vibration through meditation and nature. It's like, I don't talk to my parents anymore because I can't be around toxic people. It's like, so anyways, I have a very different way of looking at things, and just the stuff, it just is, oh my God, damn. So I don't know, I don't remember if she, because, you know, name dropping, channeling also is one where it's just like, oh my gosh, you got to get comfortable with, I don't know. I just think I think that people get so caught up in these names and stuff. We'll just see where it goes. I don't, it's very 3D concept to me. And, you know, like I've said, all these beings that I've talked to have never, you know, asked for ID. What's your name? It's an energy. It's a feeling. It's what they're bringing. It's the information they bring you. You read that information. It's like it gives you their color, their vibration. It isn't about these names. And then, especially when that guy from 1996, like, to me, that was total confirmation of what I was saying. When he was saying these people who are out here, because there wasn't very many of them then. In 1996, very many people saying they were channeling Archangel Michael and stuff. Now, it's like, fuck, find one that isn't. Everybody's channeling. I mean, fucking David Wilcox channeling now. Everybody's channeling fucking Archangel Michael and Gabriel and Chiron and Nimrod, and it's all, it's like, okay, everybody. And yesterday too, I tried to watch some stuff on Rise TV, some of their stuff, and it was annoying me then just watching that too. It was like, well, what? Oh my God, why is everybody just trying to, I don't understand. This is so weird. Like it's like trying to look for facts and trying to, I don't know. I live so differently. It's like, I don't even, like it's a disconnect. It's like everybody's disconnected from real life or something. And then they're trying to figure it out. Like they're so in the dark and they have no idea. So they all sit over here. Well, what do you think? Well, what do you think? Well, do you really think that could be? Well, do you really think this? Well, do you, oh, you know, it's like, oh, what? You can't handle it. Is there, oh my God. So, anyways, so I'm listening to this girl, and so she starts talking about her story was that she was doing something, and she was just going into deep thought or whatever, and her guides came, like there was all these different things that were happening, like a weird thing happened, and then it made her feel weird, so she thought it was her guides coming to draw her into a meditation, because that's how it works for her, I guess, that her guides come to her. But this could be how she perceives, because like to me, I could be the one who, I mean, I do know what I say, is, you know, I'm just in conversation, and a lot of times you can come up and, you know, walk into the room and I'm jump because I'm not in this room, and I'm suddenly startled back to this room. But it is, to me, like little trances or something. Like I'm always just in communication with them. I don't feel like, you know, they come and pull me in, but, you know, I mean, you could look at it that way too. So it's all, that's what I say, it's perceiving. It's how you perceive how things happen. And so to me, I'm just in conversation, and then I'll be focused on those conversations most of the time. And then, you know, when you come and you talk to me, then it's like, it startles me. A lot of times I don't remember where I'm at. Like I'll be like, oh, I didn't remember. I won't. I mean, I lost Stella so many times around the house because of that. It's like, oh my gosh, where is Stella? And that's trippy. And I talked about that, like, I don't know, a year and a half ago, because that's when they were really showing me about reality. And reality is what you're focused on. And then you come back into the other reality, refocus, and then it's like re-assimilate. And that's when I'll be like, oh, where's Stella? Okay, Stella's there. This is happening. That's happening. So it's re-assimilating into a reality shift. So I'm always shifting realities, I guess, or something. But anyways, you know, like I say, I live very different than other people. That's all I can say. Like I hear people say things and stuff, you know, when I'm on TikTok, just even watching Rise TV and stuff, just how people, I don't know. I just know I'm different. It's lonely, I think, a lot. So anyways, I've been really talking about that a lot lately. How it's just so isolating, and how people just think you're just weird or strange, and you can seem like, I don't know, mean or judgmental, I guess. So, and you know, I mean, I am noticing all these little things and stuff. And I am always seeing a better way. Oh, we could do that better. Oh, we could do that better. Oh, you can get over that. Oh, you can go around. No, we can do that. No, we don't have to do that anymore. We could do this. You know, it's just like, that's how my brain is working. And so, I don't know. It's like I have the awareness of this, like I've known it's a processor and stuff. Well, I mean, I knew ever since I was 16 when I came out of my body, and then I saw that I was the same, and my body was laying back there. It's like, oh, so I don't need my brain to think. I was like, all of a sudden, it's like, oh, man. So it gave me new perception. And so, yeah, I've had awareness of a lot of stuff that people don't have awareness of. But anyways, back to this girl's thing. So she was being pulled into her meditation by her guide, whose name is Raina. And Raina then shifted her focus and the girl's focus. So Raina shifted where she thought she was being pulled into a meditation, and Raina told her, focus your awareness. And so she took her awareness and she focused out. And when she focused out in her awareness, then she saw 2 men in black in her living room watching her. And it freaked her out. And she said then she was guided to pull all of her energy into her, to suck it in, and then to explode it out. And what was so trippy was because, like, think back a couple months ago when I said this exact same story. Not exact, like, because Raina wasn't there and stuff, but mine was. So she tells a story and stuff, and how she had blown with her energy, and how it felt and stuff. And it was so trippy because I had the same experience. And so mine, you know, it was a few months back. I'm so bad with time. I don't know, it could have been 6 months, could have been 8 months. I don't remember. I just remember I was complaining to you guys about the hall being so, there was just so many, so much activity. There's always a ton of activity down there. And so, and that's where my bedroom is. And that's why it's like so noisy. It's hard for me to sleep in my bedroom. I could sleep better on the couch, even though it's not as comfortable. But in my bedroom, it's just so noisy. And so I was, this one night, it was, the energy just felt weird or something. And it was a lot. And so I decided I was going to do a saging. So it was like, fuck, I don't know what else to do except for do a saging or something, even though I think so much of that stuff is just ceremonial stuff. And so I get my sage and I'm doing it, and so I'm like right at angle, like I'm like right here and the guy's right there, and I could see him. I can see these people going around. It's weird. I don't know how to explain it, but I can see. It's like you can see shadows and ghosts and stuff. You can see like translucent. I don't know how to explain it. You know, I can see things running around and stuff. There's all sorts of shit I can see. But then, so I looked at him and he was looking at me, and he laughed at me, but it was just really like mean and hateful, and like I was so stupid or something, or you know, what a joke. But it was with such arrogance, and I was like, oh, that's not a spirit, this is a fucking man in black. And I was like, all these motherfuckers, like these men in black, they are going through these other realms. They're traveling in these other realms and watching us. And I don't know if there's like, if they can pick up on a light or something for people who are more, can see into those realms or are more aware of those realms. And, you know, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what was going on at the time. Even when I had said it, it was like, you know, I don't know, maybe it was an astral traveler. You know, but to me, it seemed like it was a man in black. And, but there's definitely, you know, there's beings that have an awareness that they're in that realm and moving through it. And, you know, they can't be affected. Like saging is going to do shit. And, so, and I don't know how to explain that. It's like the difference of a mindless energy and a conscious energy. The more conscious you are, the more abilities you have. So, and you have to be a very conscious energy to move through other realms like that, to astral travel and remote view and stuff. You are, you know, you have a good control of your consciousness. And see, that's the kind of thing where I think why they were doing those tests in school, like where they're always trying to siphon certain people. They've always been looking for certain DNAs. They're always looking, you know, because, you know, as long as they can keep people not knowing what they are then, and not knowing their abilities and making them feel like their abilities is something wrong with them, then they can access like their DNA and stuff, and they can use it for their experiments, because they're always trying to make this master race or these master beings or something. And, you know, these people are just wacky. And, but it started out, it was like a certain energy that grew. You know, it started out like, well, let's just advance these people so we can have them work for us. Well, that just grew into something bigger, because it's the experiment. Where does it go? Like, this energy started, so where does it go? And we all come in as the souls. Well, we could do this, this, and this, and this, and this, and we see where the energy goes. And everybody plays parts. And so, you know, it goes in all directions. And it reaches a point where it has to like, it's like this, the water pulling back out. And so it's an energy, it goes, it's like a movement, the way energy moves. But we go out as far as we can, and then it goes back. It's the pendulum swinging back. And see, that's where we're at right now. It's like everything has gone as far as it could, and now it's going to the switchback. We're going to roll over, and everything's going to go the other way now. So, but, you know, it's extreme to go through this, you know, because there's a lot of letting go. And so, but anyways, as the man in black thing, I'm just going back to that. The man in black guy who was at my house. And so it was the same thing. And like, I don't know. I mean, apparently, like, my guides are always the one, like, I think everything that comes out of my mouth is through them. I very much feel like I'm an extension of something outside of me. And so, I mean, right away, when I did the same thing, except for I didn't realize I was having a conversation about it. I just did it like a natural thing. And I just, like, I was mad. So I took all of my anger, all of my helplessness of like, okay, so this being can be in my house, and, you know, he can come into my space in kind of a shadow way. And so, you know, you're going to be energy, then you got to use energy back. And so I sucked all of this into me. Like, it was weird, and I explained it, how I did it, but I sucked everything into me. And then when I had sucked it all in, I blasted it as hard as I could, and I could see it. It was like a fucking nuclear thing. I mean, it was just like dust. It was just like pushed all the energy around me out, away from me. So it just pushed them away. And it made me feel like a superhero or something. It was so trippy. And so that, I think, is really a lot more effective than saging and stuff. But it's also, it's extreme. And then, but it's also, to me, is like just having the awareness of we're being watched. And I don't know, you know, what signals them who to watch and stuff. It still weirds me out how I had Secret Service come to my house. I see all these people do and say all sorts of stuff, and never have heard any of them. None of them have had the FBI, Secret Service, nobody show up at their house. And I've heard people do and say way worse things than I ever did. And so, you know, to me, it was, you know, I just felt like, okay, so I'm being watched, you know, and they're letting me know I'm being watched. And so, you know, and it's always been, you know, well, we'll give you this much space. We'll pretend like that you have a reach. We'll let you talk, and we'll let a few people in, you know, and that's why it's curious, like the people who they have let in, like I'm curious about, you know, and it's weird how so many people have so much similarities to me and with me. And so, I don't know, there's a lot of weird things about all this stuff that is trippy. Like, you know, I'll be so glad when this stuff flips. I mean, it's going to be like, if it's micro, macro, it's going to be intense. Like, if that fucking all LA flips, and I don't know that whole place. Like, my brother is in Yorba Linda, but he's an LA fireman. He could easily be in LA, and especially if they're in a disaster, and if there's a big shift like that, and they're, I mean, it would be, it will take down roads and stuff. Roads will break. It will completely block off. And see, that's one of the things, is a big thing that's going to cause so many problems, is we'll be in areas of isolation. We'll be like trapped. And they have been, you know, purposely reducing the food in areas and stuff in order to, I don't know, you gotta think about, to me, like in Twilight Zone, the people just, they don't come together and help one another. They go against each other and become enemies to each other. So they'll fight each other for something. And that's why I thought it was so good how Rod Serling would always show that. And then he would show, you know, the lights coming on, and, you know, everything always gets better. This is a temporary thing. So we can work together in this problem and come out in the end, or we can fight each other and, you know, like gunslinger style, and whoever's left standing, then they move forward. It's like, that is not the way that human beings can sustain. It's about like sustainability. It's like, where is humanity showing that it has sustainability? And they fight each other nonstop, and they argue, and they don't come together. And the let's wait a second, because there was something. The humans, how they don't come together. And there was something else that was coming into my mind during that part. Let me think. Because, I mean, coming together, obviously, you know, working together. Oh, yeah, okay. So, The Garden. Okay, so that documentary that I just had ran across, because my daughter had wanted me to watch that one documentary, I guess, so I would recognize, you know, how crazy if it's not to recognize how crazy I am or how crazy the stuff I say sound, it's to recognize that it's crazy people saying it, and why I sound crazy to people, and why they can't believe it, because, you know, it's marketed as crazy stuff. They're not putting out a bunch of documentaries with people, you know, legit explaining stuff. You know, they want to keep people in this, and it's weird too, is, you know, like Crystal, she said, she's been on YouTube and stuff for years and years and years in the spiritual community, and she had never run across these people either. So, like, you know, were these people even real? Was that, you know, one of these, they make all these movies nowadays where they try and make it like it's real people and real things happening, but it's all just made up. I mean, because it is like really weird and over the top. And I haven't looked it up, but they also have control of the media. So even if you went and looked it up, I mean, they make this shit up. There's a whole fucking weird shit about this Gabby Petito. There's a weird shit about that. Like, that was a made up story and stuff. So, you know, they will do anything for the sensationalizing crime. And, I mean, right now they're pulling out Lori Vallow, or Valor, or whatever the fuck her name is. They're pulling her out, you know. She's back in court again. She's, you know, when they got to talk about her new mugshot and how she's wearing her hair and stuff. What the fuck? We got serious shit going on in this world, but let's talk about what old fucking Lori's wearing to court today. It's like, this is mental. I bet people get, you know, that's a distraction. And so they make up crimes, and they make up stories, and then they make up ones so to direct the public's view of certain people. Like, I've dealt with this since the beginning of spirituality. I've said that. I mean, they made it in movies and everything. All of us who were being spiritual, we were a bunch of weirdo wackos. We're all sitting around, you know. I never did incense until like the last few years. And that was trying to go more natural off of candles and stuff. So, you know, we weren't all a bunch of, you know, walking around with our crystals and stuff. You know, I was trying to convince people of what this place really was, and reincarnation, and getting people to think for themselves and stuff. And, you know, so we weren't what they tried to make us out to be, but this is how they work to get people to have a certain view, and that's what they're doing, I think, right now with that documentary, especially with, you know, having my family think I'm so crazy, and then to see that and be like, oh, see, this is what she's doing, this is what she is, especially, you know, making it about YouTube people, because they're, you know, like I said, I think they don't go on and look at my stuff because they find it, I'm embarrassing or something, and they just think I'm strange and weird. And so they don't know, you know, what I talk about, or, you know, any of the things of my views. When I bring up aliens and stuff, they just think it's like crazy and silly and wacky. It's like, you guys, that is your real life. Like, you guys all sound crazy and wacky at this point. Like, you sound so like a bunch of, the visual is, it's like the giants and the little peons hiding under the leaf. Oh my God, what's out there? It's like, come on, people. Jesus fucking Christ. And so, anyways, you know, you got to step out. You got to be okay with, yeah, there's giants, there's this, there's everything. That's the real world. It's all experience. It's all different. It's just, it's like a cartoon of everything. And you get with it or be scared of it. So, and when the things that can, you know, get you, you got to have awareness of them. And, you know, not just be all scared of everything. Like, we're so scared of everything. Reptilians, everybody's just scared. I think that probably we'll find out that there was not all bad aliens that were running the world. It was some that were trying to do good. I think there were probably, there was a sense of trying to contain the habitat to make everybody happy and stuff. But then there was the other part where greed and these certain energies took over and started, like, I just saw a thing, you know, yesterday I was seeing all this footage of Scotland where I was like, oh my God, I want to go to Scotland so bad. And I was just getting all these videos of Scotland. And in Romania, oh my God, Romania is fucking cool as fuck. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I want to go on these trips. And like right now isn't the time. And also some of these places are going to be underwater. And I was like, oh my God, all this beautiful history and stuff that we never got to experience. And it's going to be underwater soon. It's going to be gone. And there's not a lot of big land masses coming up. In the, you know, I keep going and looking at that map, and you know, well, what about this place? Well, what about this place? And go look at it. And so I was thinking, oh my gosh, all these places are going to be gone. And then this morning, the video I saw in Scotland just turned my stomach. Is they have a huge salmon farm, and how they do it is that have them in the water, so they're like in a giant fish tank in the water. And then, but they are so jam-packed that it's like half of them die. They're diseased. They're being eaten alive by lice. It is the most disgusting thing. And it puts out so much waste. Scotland puts out so much waste because of all of this. And that is the corporate greed. It's like, no, people should be out. If you want to fish, you got to go out and catch the motherfucking fish. We don't have them do this kind of weird shit. It's so non-productive. It's so against the ecosystem. That's why Mother Nature comes back on us, because it's against the fucking, it's against nature. And so, of course, it's not going to work. Now, nature has a natural way of doing things that is, stays in harmony. It stays in sync. These people are putting everything out of sync, out of harmony. And then they want to turn around and blame it on us. It just, you know, I mean, the amount of plastic and bullshit they put in our stuff, it's mind-boggling. You know, it's just crazy. And the packaging, and just the whole thing. There's just so much. There's so much waste. It's all about greed. It's all, even they're producing these products and stuff. All of it is so unnecessary. So much of this shit is just unnecessary. And then it is just based on money. And that's where there has to be so much of us pulling free from them. keep pulling free and pulling free. And then, you know, that's one of the things why I don't want to buy their shampoo bottles and stuff. They put out millions of these bottles, and now when you start finding out that all this plastic is, it's like shedding into your product, and then all of these chemicals, these forever chemicals, so they couldn't put it in your food, they couldn't put it in the product, but they can put it in the container, and the container seeps it into your stuff. And so, you know, and then everybody wonders why they're so sick. It's environmental. They're doing it on purpose. They've got loopholes, and they use them. And so it's all, you know, manufacturer. You know, these people, you know, they would live differently. They probably have their food is all out natural running, and, you know, well, I mean, a lot of it is, of course, out natural running because it's, you know, of human beings, because there's some of these people are beings from somewhere else. They are not the same as us, and they do live off our energy and stuff. And then they convince these people that that's the way to stay young, is to, you know, to accept that. And then you get these people who are like, oh, well, Kylie Jenner and Hailey and Justin Bieber, they use it all the time. They say it's the greatest. Hailey Bieber says she's never going to age now. She's just, it's like, oh my God, a bunch of fucking vampires. I think when we start hearing more about this stuff, the technology, there's going to be so much with the technology, just with the frequency and the vibration, just taking us into these machines, getting us out of this lower dense vibration will move us into a more optimum thing. Like, you won't have issues and stuff. You won't age. And so, but they are like, oh yeah, well, just stay down here and then feed off of the rest of them like we do. It's like this parasitic, dark energy of just grossness. And so many people are like, yeah, oh, I'll just put on a lot of makeup, I'll look good. And then it just becomes this fake and artificial. People think they can hide their true character behind, you know, weaves and wigs and lots of makeup and tight clothes and stuff. It's like, no. I mean, who you are on the inside is what matters. What you're putting out into the world is what matters. The rest of it is, you're a part of the sickness. You're a part of the disease. You're the festering of the disease. And, you know, you've got to notice, like, I don't want to be diseased. I don't want to be of the sickness. I want to feel better. I want to do better. Yesterday, you know, because I drink that burn dog root every day. And so, and I had seen it was some old, you know, one of these, oh yeah, because I got to finish that one. Okay, these old homesteader guys. There's a lot of those guys, like on TikTok, these old guys, you know, have lived, they know how, like old farmer guys, they know how to, they've been around before some of this shit, and they know how to do things. And so they will do videos and stuff. And, okay, so whatever the guy, oh yeah, the burn dog root. Okay, so yeah, okay, this guy was talking about the burn dog root. And so I got it, like, I don't know, months and months ago. And because I just ran out of it and had to get more. And, but I wanted to make sure and got more because I had looked it up and I knew it did a bunch of good stuff. But this video popped up and this girl said all the good things about it. And I was like, dang. Fuck, burn dog root is fucking powerful shit, man. Like, it makes you go backwards, and it's like all sorts of things that are really good with it. And so I sent it to my daughter and my mom because it's like, you know, nobody wants to hear from me or wants to see the videos. I have sent a couple, like, you know, cutesy, like, oh, this cute dog video or something, but, or music. But anyways, it's like, so anyways, I sent out the burn dog root, and both of them were like, oh my gosh, I gotta get the burn dog root, because it has got so much good stuff about it. And then my daughter said that she wants to just stop feeling sick because she's got, I don't know how many, and she's sick all the time. And so she's just like, I just want to stop being sick. And I'm like, you gotta go the natural, the holistic. You gotta start doing all detoxing. That's the way to start feeling better. You got to get all these goddamn chemicals out of you. It's like, get as many in you as possible all day long. Even when you're doing all this healthy stuff, it's like you're battling their sicknesses all the time, because we're under siege of sickness. It's micro, macro. It's in all levels. And, oh yeah, because back to the documentary thing. And so the one documentary I felt like it was really to put people off on, you know, was how crazy people sound when, you know, oh, aliens and galactic, you know, all that stuff. And that this world is not this limited place that they want you to believe it is. And, but on this other one, so the garden that they made, it was like a mini series kind of, because it had 6 episodes. I'm still starting to growl. 6 episodes, and it is, I thought it was like reality TV. It's so strange, because you think you're going to watch this documentary about this, this commune that, you know, got the raw end of the deal, being called a cult, and how they're showing like how they really live in this commune and how so super productive they are and stuff. And how great that is you can pull free from society and live like this and build your own communities. That, you know, that's how it's being marketed. And these people are trying to get a good look on themselves from getting pulled away from this cult mentality thing. And so, but then it just is like this absurd reality TV documentary show. It's like they have all these strange characters come, and all of them are characters. And nobody's just a regular average person. They're all extreme characters. And they all are coming for strange reasons. And I guess there was an ad that they put in. And the one girl, she said that they put in an ad because she's an actress, and it was for parts. And she thought she was just going to play this part. And she said it was vague the whole time. She had no idea. And then, but all these different characters, some of them say they're there to learn, that they're, so I don't know how they got everybody involved, but somehow they drew all these people into this together. And so now I've seen a couple of them on TikTok. They keep popping up, the people out of the show, and they're super embarrassed. And they're saying it was edited a certain way. They were making it look very different than what it was. And so they're really embarrassed over how they look. They just said they look like idiots. And it's like, yeah, they do. But there is a lot of stuff, though, that is not sustainability. Like, you do not, the society's collapsing, but let's go to the Walmart and dig in their trash. So that's how we're going to plan on surviving. It's like, how is that sustainable? Yeah, even if your philosophy is the government's going to crash, the corporation's going down, then how are you going to live off of it? It's like sustainability is becoming independent in what you need, taking care of it for yourself. And so, you know, first priority in building a community should be figuring out, like, you know, how everybody's going to eat and stuff. And so getting a big area, you know, like a common kitchen or whatever, like what they were trying to do. But to me, having housing for, you got to have chickens, and it's not chickens for you to eat. These are chickens that you feed them and they keep producing food for you. So you get food from them as long as you are feeding them. Start eating them doesn't make any sense. And then the same with a cow and goats and stuff. Like, you can get, like, maybe, you know, some of these people needed to watch Amish stuff and learn how to make butter and cheese and cream and stuff. But you can get those things by having certain animals. And so it's thinking, and you know what, because when your garden has to have time to grow, also in the area that you're going to learn about the foraging, what things that you can eat that are naturally grown. You can find out about that kind of stuff. But we're going to go find roadkill that's fresh and dig in dumpsters to eat, and then they're all sick all the time. It's like you're eating a lot of bacteria. It's disgusting. And I mean, I'm sure there's probably some bacteria that are hard to kill, especially if you don't have good gut health. You got to have good gut health. You got to eat stuff that is like vinegary, vinegar, they're like, you can just take apple cider vinegar, a teaspoon of that every day, and it will improve your gut health, where it will keep you healthy. Because just like what I was saying about with the C. diff and stuff, it's an ecosystem of its own down there, and not having good gut health will make you sicker and sicker and sicker. Like I said, when I got diagnosed with colitis, and that could have been when I had Hep C too. They weren't checking that. But I was so sick. I seriously thought I was dying. I couldn't walk hardly. And so my stomach's really growling to death. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what I'm going to eat. That's another, and you know, not having an oven too, you know, that's kind of another obstacle kind of thing. But then it's also like, yeah, but when these obstacles happen, I'd rather get used to not having them, because I just feel like everything is crashing. When everything crashes, then, you know, we're going to move forward in a more higher technology, more sophisticated. But right now, it's like you can drive yourself crazy as everything's falling apart and crashing, trying to band-aid it all together. It's like it's all falling apart. And better to me to be like, okay, well, I can live without this. I can live without this. And just think of, you know, how do you get over the obstacle? How do you go around it? How do I, you know, like I said, that's just how I think. And so anyways, but, you know, like if the oven was working, I'd probably be baking cookies every day. And because then it's like, oh, well, I can just eat a cookie. You know, cookies always taste good. And I haven't been able to make a bunch of cookies lately. And I swear to God, I was living off of cookies. Well, not just living off of them. I ate other things too. But like in the morning, when it's like, oh my gosh, my stomach's growling, I'm hungry. But I don't want to make some meal. I don't feel like cooking or something. So having cookies, it's always like, oh, and it goes good with tea. I'm sure it goes good with root powders. So, but now that I'm on the root powders, I haven't really had the cookies. Anyway, I don't know why I go off on this stuff. So, anyways, what was the rest I was gonna say? So, your body's an filtration system of its own. There's ways for us to get younger without taking from other people. That's the way this world is, and on all levels. And people are comfortable taking from other people. People are comfortable taking from other people and then tell them to shut up and stop complaining. Like, it's so dysfunctional. The world has become just out of control and dysfunctional. And you can see it's because that energy, it's like it's hitting into the wall. It's all flying up everywhere. Has nowhere to go, but that's what's going to flip us over. The energy is going to flip the other direction. That's the pole shift. That's when everything goes the other way. That's when everybody will get a new view of themselves, a new view of life. That will be the disclosure. That will be the truth. That will be, you know, and I look forward to this truth. Like, to me, like right now, it's like my account is going down and down, and views and stuff like that. It's like, you know, I can completely see, you know, if this is not my time, if, you know, people have to be ready to understand things, or you sound crazy. And, you know, I've spent all my life trying to tell things. If people still don't want to hear it, then, you know, I'm definitely fine with that. Like, it's not like it's going to be like, oh my God, I could have saved the world. The world's got to save itself. People got to save themselves. If they're happy and satisfied sitting and playing in mud, you know, when there's a sunny hill over here, then, you know, let them be. Let them be. I'm going to keep going on the sunny hill, and I don't know, just watching as everybody gets dirtier and dirtier, waiting for, you know, the rain to come in and clear out the mud. So, you know, we're in the process of all this stuff happening. I mean, all this stuff, there's a lot of stuff going on, but yeah, that really caught my my focus yesterday with that big earthquake happening over there. just because it was showing with all these studies that the scientists are doing right now and what they're expecting to happen. And it's just like, oh my gosh. But this is a big thing that is going to be disclosed. Is like the science, the doctors, all these people, they don't care about you. People think that they are here to save them and help them. Like, you trust the science. The scientists are leaving you to, you know, otherwise that you would be being evacuated, because science said. And that all that land needs to be, people need to push inland. And on the West Coast, it seems pretty far. You gotta go in pretty far, and I don't know how fast it's gonna come. Like, man, I don't know. I don't even know how deep the goddamn water is over by LA. Like, is there, like, do they have where it goes out and it's not very deep and then it drops off and it goes real deep? Like, is LA gonna pop up and then fly down in there? Like, I don't know. What horrible, like, oh, it just seems like such a nightmare of an experience. But one thing, though, is to remember that the soul isn't really, the people aren't really going through the experience like it appears to be. It's way more about observation. And there's just a lot of things that as people leave or die or whatever, that people think like, oh, that really happened to them, you know, and oh, I hope they're okay after all that horrible death occurred, and I hope they really went to heaven. I hope they're not in hell. Like, all this stuff that's so absurd to me. But it is, the souls, like, if you go and read all these near-death experience books, you'll see the souls don't stay in and go through all that stuff. They go out and they watch, just like, you know, they just don't go through the experience of it. So it's way more of a visual. The energy has left the building. It's way more of just an image to complete a story or something. So anyways, now I feel like I've emptied out more, but it is definitely, to me, I feel like people just get so comfortable of finding something to hold themselves back. Like, the people don't want to push themselves. They don't want to push themselves out of their comfort zone. And I can just say it's important. It's important to push yourself beyond what you are comfortable with all the time if you want to grow. You know, growth happens by, you know, challenges and pushing yourself and, you know, trying to figure out other ways around the problems. And it's doing something to people where it just is a surrender, a constant surrender that occurs. Oh, well, I've got this problem. It's unsurmountable. It's like, to me, my daughter isn't a procrastinator anymore. I was somebody who was late all the time. I was late to everything. I would go to a doctor's appointment an hour late. I didn't give a shit. I got kicked out of the dentist's office before. And I was just very much like, time? Like, you're supposed to be there at that time? Like, I don't know. I was very disrespectful of time back a long time ago. And then I went to nursing school, and they made such a big deal about it and about punctuality. You're a real loser if you're not. And so that's why yesterday I was saying, you know, they start teaching on ego in school, in certain professions like medical and stuff. It's such an ego-driven community. And so the mind training, you know, of being a good person and you are above other people and stuff, it starts in the beginning. But I started being punctual to things, and then I had people around me who weren't. My mom always, she's 2 hours late, and my daughter, which I saw it as like a kind of a dysfunctional angle. And so, you know, I took it upon myself. Well, you can't do that. You can't do that. You got to be more on time and stuff. And I'm sure other things in life, you know, jobs and stuff, you know, you get late 15 minutes to your job all the time, you lose your job. And so life will push you to become punctual. And so I'm sure it's not just me telling my daughter, well, you got to be more punctual and stuff. But she, I think my mom has even gotten better at it. I'm sure she has. probably because of her luncheons and stuff. If you were an hour late, luncheon's over, your friends left. So you better get yourself back on, you know, onto some kind of schedule. But at the same time, because my daughter would have like OCD, she would just get real hyper focused on something and just be obsessive compulsive about it. And then she would also be a procrastinator. And she worked over that. She worked through it. She got out of that. That doesn't bind her back. And so that is why, even if you have those characteristics that pop back up at times, you have to have awareness of it so you can overcome them. And so all the different things, every single thing that we can come up with, and they like to umbrella them under labels and stuff because they're just, you know, just things about you. But the things, you know, like it's good to change procrastination. It's good to change obsessive compulsive. It's not productive. So it is good to be aware of those things and to change them. But where people get so stuck and thinking that they can't change them. It's too hard. It's too challenging. Yeah, but the challenges are what you're here for. And it's a gradual. You have awareness of it, and you have awareness of it, so you catch yourself running your programs, you catch yourself, so you stop, and then you do something different. Like you catch yourself procrastinating, you're just like, okay, enough of this. We're going to go do this. We're going to get this over with. And then you just go and start doing it. Like there's and then you see, oh, well, that wasn't that bad. And then you do it again and again and again. And pretty soon it's like, fuck, I'm not a procrastinator. I get shit done. I don't have a bunch of projects sitting around waiting, staring at me all day long. Oh, you gonna finish? You gonna finish? Like I have stuff, I'm not like finished with everything. I have a whole bunch of granny squares and stuff, but I don't sit there and be like, oh, I'm not done. I wanted to make that blanket. No, it's like, yeah, I'm just going to take it as that, you know, when I feel like making granny squares and stuff, my intention is at some point to put them all together and make a blanket. And so it is, so I don't look at it as like, oh, well, yeah, you know, you got to be working on something every single second. You got to be on that every single second. I've got several, I got a whole nother package of canvases, you know, and I have some stuff my daughter wants me to paint for, but I don't feel like I'm procrastinating. I think about it. I think about like what it is, what colors, and she likes really abstract stuff. And so I've been thinking about like these forms because I paint different than that. So I'll think about like what I want to put, well, what I want to do, like, and to me, I'm not like holding myself back or procrastinating or taking to me, it's just like when it hits, I'll know. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm going to do. And then you just start doing it. I'm letting the creativity just, you know, and right now I'm not putting a lot of expectation on myself and getting mad at myself. I mean, this is hard times right now. Like the energy, and I mean, I don't see how anybody can think that this would not be affecting us physically when it's affecting our realm. It's affecting our world around us physically. The sky is changing. The sounds are changing. Everything is changing around us. Time is jacked up. Everything. Like it's all, and so, yeah, I'm not going to sit there and go like, well, you really should be over there painting right now. It's like, no, I've just got to be getting through the day. You know, taking care of my dogs and stuff like that is like where I feel like, okay, well, you know, I'm accomplished and stuff. I'm, you know, yeah, I even heard this commercial where it was like giving money to help kids like this. And I was like, or you could just help the kids. You could just, you know, people you run across, you don't have to go out and search, oh, who can I help? Who can I help? No, but when people come across your path, is an opportunity. And it's not easy. Believe me, it's not. You know, it's, you know, it's just not. But, and I think that's where people get to the thing of, well, you know, I'll just give $20, that's good. It's like, you know, but when we all become more productive as a community and all start trying to bring the community up, that's when we raise the community. We raise the standard. We elevate. We elevate as man, as man and woman, as people, as a species. So anyways, it's, you know, it's all in this process. It's all in this process of how things play out and how things are rolling. So anyways, I'm just just gonna roll on out of this video. I think I finished everything I was gonna say. I know it was skipped around some, but I think I finished everything I was gonna say. So anyways, have a good day. We'll still see, you know, even if a tsunami comes in and it knocks out the power for a few days, I'm sure I'll be back, but you know, who knows? Who knows what YouTube, like, who knows? Who knows what tomorrow? Who knows what's gonna happen in the next hour? Seriously, just go with the flow and hope for the best. I'll talk to you later.